One of the first attempts at a campaign in a yearly sports title was NBA 06 The Life Volume 1. Yes, before Long Shot, before Spike Lee, we had this. This game was Sony's attempt at a basketball franchise, and they went all in on the story mode called The Life. So much so that this is the very first thing you see in the main menu.
What are we waiting for?
Let's jump right in and see what this is all about. Well, we do get the movie treatment. The credits are on the screen while we watch a pre-rendered opening in Letterboxd. So we are at the NBA draft, then we are given control to create our character in the most limited character creator I've ever seen. You can't edit height, you can't edit weight, you can't even edit any specific body parts.
Pause.
And even the stuff you can edit is so limited. There are only 3 styles of hair, including a small afro. That isn't an afro. There are only 5 styles of facial hair. You can't pick your position or edit attributes. So I have to ask, what the hell is the point of this? They should have just made a default character to give us, like in Long Shot. If they were just gonna give us the same amount of freedom as a North Korean resident. We name our guy, and I don't mean to be super complaining, though I will be, but I hate when games try and reinvent the wheel with stuff like entering your name. Yeah, I get it. It's supposed to be a mid-2000s cell phone keypad. But just give us a QWERTY keyboard and call it a day, bro. What is this shit? Anyway, our character is from junior college, so he's nicknamed the JUCO Kid, but they just shorten it to the Kid like 95% of the time. We have pre-draft workouts, and this is pretty much a tutorial for the game. They teach you dribble moves, post up, and you get to go through skills challenges, which is a nice change of pace. You are eventually put into a game, and the main thing with this game mode is that you are put into scenarios and you have a checklist of things to do. You have your main goals. These are things like scoring a certain amount of points, or getting a certain shooting percentage, or getting a certain amount of assists. But you also have these showtime goals, which are little optional things for you to do to get more upgraded attributes or to unlock a classic jersey. I guess this is where I talk about the gameplay at this point. Yeah. I'm going to give NBA 06 a good amount of credit here. The shooting meter is way ahead of its time. You hold the shoot button down and this little multicolored meter comes up. The goal is to stop it on the green, which means the shot goes in. Yellow, it might go in. Orange, it's most likely won't go in. And red is the shit that Craig hit Debo with, a straight up brick. Yes, that's right. There were green shooting meters in a basketball game well over a decade before 2K games decided to do it. Other basketball games just had a system where you release at the peak of your jump. But even if you could release at the peak of your jump, your shot could still miss with zero explanation as to why. It was a little random. This shooting system makes sure if you were to miss, it's all your fault and you would know why. Although this was kinda hated back in the day. And it's not perfect. It can be pretty hard to tell where to stop the meter because the colors blend in with each other. You can be blocked by your own little star icon. And worst of all, this thing just straight up cheats at times. There are times where I perfectly stop it in the green, but the game is like, nah, that's actually yellow. God bless the colorblind who tried to play this game. But overall, the shooting mechanics, though flawed, are pretty good. There's also these meters at the top of the screen. One for a player and one for the team in general. You build the team meter by getting assists, and the more assists you get, the more attribute increases you get. The exact opposite can happen if you ball hog. If you take too many shots with a singular player, then you get negative attributes. The meter for your player is built up by doing showtime moves. These are fancy passes to your teammates. If you score off of one of these passes, then the player who passed the ball gets an attribute boost.
He's mine. Ball. Like that, huh?
This mechanic is surprisingly good. The story also incorporates the emphasis on team play, flashy passes, and ball hogging too, so it all works together. It's a risk versus reward system because a lot of times these passes go anywhere but the target. And if that happens, your attributes go down. But if you can get both team attributes and player attributes up, then you become unstoppable in making shots. Man, hopefully someone else can use this system one day. It just makes me sad that these things are in a game that's not very good. Yeah, I'm sorry. For all the interesting things that this game does, when it comes to the pure basketball part of this game, it is not very good. NBA 06 reminds me of an Acclaim game, and in case you don't know, that's not a good thing. Several times while playing, I had to question if I was playing basketball against the fucking X-Men. Bro blocked my shot from a distance. Did he just airbend that shit back? Bro, I just used the wrong Nickelodeon reference. I have to be playing against Danny Phantom. There's no way this should be possible. Even ignoring the technical aspects and the constant jank of it all, the game controls weirdly too. Like, it seems like each defender has a force field to keep you at bay. Like, I try and drive around dudes, but the player is like locked in a straight path. I even put the controller graphic on the screen to show you that I am trying to get around this guy. Layups always have a chance to fail.
This is #1 bullshit.
But it's because of stupid things like this. Even the presentation, the game isn't animated well, the graphics aren't interesting, there's no commentary, no cutscenes, half the stadium is empty, even during the NBA Finals, and the crowd that is there is just one dude copied over and over again that does the same emotes in unison.
Where is everybody?
Even some of the rules in basketball aren't consistently right, like shot clock violations.
That's not how it works.
And calling a timeout to get the ball to mid-court just doesn't exist.
That's not how any of this works.
At best, NBA 06 is a mediocre game, and at worst, it's bad. You can't even use the good old "it was good for the time" excuse, because NBA Live and NBA 2K were miles better than this, not to mention the street ball games. So if you ever wonder why this series never took off, it's because of stuff like this. Hey, you gonna move? The clock's running out. Hey, so you gonna do anything, or okay, my ball, I guess. Okay, so that's it for the gameplay for the most part. I just brought it up so I don't have to do it consistently throughout this video. Back to the story mode. We run drills and games, then we hear talking heads talking about the upcoming draft.
But you gotta go and keep your eye out of the kid out of JUCO. JUCO. Wait, we've got a new name here. We'll call him the JUCO Kid. JUCO Kid.
I like it.
Bryce, your thoughts on that issue?
Well, the kid is definitely hot. Just 2 years in, he's putting major numbers on the board. 10 double-doubles in his last 11 games. His percentage from the field is 53%. He handles like a pro, and this kid is like, he's like a pit bull on defense. His only downfall, he has not seen any Division I ball.
Well, do you see that as a factor?
Well, after his pre-draft workout performance, it shouldn't, but realistically, it's going to be a factor. I see a high to mid-second round pick.
You're going to choose a string of high school talent over this guy? I mean, please. His stats speak for themselves. He embarrassed the competition in the PD workouts. And I say right here, right now, that there's a serious problem with the scouts if that kid is not picked up in the top 15.
Honestly, the voice acting in this game is pretty good. It's good in a sense that people talk like actual human beings. They stumble and stutter over words, they talk over each other and cut each other off. This is pretty good, especially for a PS2 game. Even games still today all sound like an HR firm wrote the script. So it's nice to hear some dialogue that doesn't sound like it was run through like 85 focus group testings.
And you know, you invite some friends if you want, whatever you'd like to do. You just let me know. You just tell them Chuck sent you to do it, okay? You just have to.
Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your little small ray here.
It's all right. Kia, this is Amy.
How you doing, Amy?
Hi, my name is Ashley. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, Ashley, exactly.
Wait, is that Nolan North? Check out Nathan Drake before Nathan Drake was a thing.
Right. And do me another favor and try to get some rest tonight, will you?
Stop worrying, Pops. I can go all day, all night.
That's what I'm afraid of. You gotta love this kid.
But anyway, the draft comes and we're nervous about where we'll be selected. But it turns out we're selected by the Knicks in the second round. No matter what, you will be selected by whatever team you put as your favorite team on your game profile. Though it doesn't really matter, because whatever team you end up on, every real life player that's on that team will be replaced by these made up characters for the story. Later on, we head to a street ball court where we run into this random guy named Shake. He teaches us the super obscure unknown basketball technique that's known as the alley-oop. Yeah, you mean to tell me a point guard that was drafted in the second round in the NBA doesn't know about alley-oops and had to learn it from some dude on the street? Come on, that's almost as dumb as the main character in Long Shot not knowing what a safety is. As far as how the alley-oop works, you have to hold R2, which sends your teammate running towards the basket. You time it to complete an alley-oop. This works in a scenario where there's only one teammate and no defenders, but in a in-game scenario, that is not worth doing at all. You have no clue which one of your teammates will run up towards the basket, and even then they get caught up on other players and mistime everything. And when you miss, your attributes go down. So I rarely, if ever, attempted this. Sometimes I just like tapping the R2 button over and over because all your teammates flock to the basket like seagulls after a piece of bread, and they dunk invisible basketballs. We arrive at an autograph signing where we meet our teammate and previous season's Rookie of the Year, Willie Brown, aka Big W. He's signing autographs for some strange looking individuals. Like, listen to this dude talk.
Hey Deb, can I have your autograph, please? Thank you. Good luck.
And look at this dude in the background. What are these people on? So there's some tension between our player and Big W. Then we sit down and sign autographs for 0 people online. Remember those old Virgil memes? So anyway, we run some summer league games, some scrimmages, and some free throw challenges. As this goes on, our player is outperforming Big W and coach is getting on him for that.
William, over here now. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You gotta show me a lot more than that. You're playing like a third stringer out there. The heck is going on? That kid is embarrassing you out there. You better snap up your game real quick, son, or that kid is gonna take your spot. You understand me? You get back out there now.
And take his spot we do. The coaches have a meeting and come to the conclusion to trade Big W.
Those 10 we agree on. It's gonna be tricky working the final 5.
Bill, I have a suggestion. Why don't we trade Willie Brown and Ty Cook for Shane Bland?
Bland being the #1 pick from the draft that just passed. I find it fascinating how this is discussed. Well, why don't we just trade him and get this guy? Like, you realize both teams have to agree to a trade, right? But these guys are talking about it like they have forced trades on. So we hit scrimmage one more time against Big W and beat him. Then he is promptly traded to the San Antonio Spurs.
Folks, I hope you're sitting down because Big W, last year's first overall draft pick and Rookie of the Year, and veteran 2-man Ty Cook have been traded for this year's #1 pick, Shane Blanton. Oh my goodness! Now all eyes are on the kid from the Hoosier State, Indiana. But I do know that this young team needs a leader. And why not the Midwest All-American? But the question is, can he do it? Can he lead this team? Or will his wings get clipped?
So after that, we have one more drill and we hit a big ass roadblock. This is called Top Rung. I have never heard of this ever. So how it goes is that you face off against one team, and when you beat them, you play against the next team, but the next team inherits the score of the first team. And when you beat them, the team after that inherits that team's score. So to sum it all up, you essentially have to beat 3 teams in a row without allowing 11 points between the 3 of them. Safe to say, this is really difficult. Now, this is difficult in any normal basketball game, but we're talking about NBA 06 where shit like this happens as often as a person blinking. Eventually, the paranormal activity ass gameplay comes up, but this time to my advantage. I get past it and we head on into the NBA season. Now from here on out, the game comes to an abrupt stop. You play games with scenarios and things to do. Sometimes it could be up until a half, sometimes it could be at the end of the game to hit a game-winning shot. Sometimes it could be the whole game. But the thing is that the narrative for this game is, for the most part, stopped. The only thing you constantly get, your agent / manager, whatever, calls you to talk about some sponsor branding deal.
I just got a call from BT Custom Motors.
I don't give a fuck.
And that you have to be more show-offy in order to get sponsorships. But in actuality, you can just play how you want unless the checklist tells you to do so. It's not like this game has multiple endings or anything, it's a straight linear path. So the majority of the NBA season just comes across as complete filler. And this game is fairly long. I was here for hours playing this game and I wasn't even at the All-Star break. And it sucks when you have scenarios that you can get stuck in, like this one where you have to limit Allen Iverson to a certain amount of points. But the thing is that his team force feeds him the ball, so he's bound to score points eventually. So I'm just going to skip the, hey, we're offering you a sponsorship cutscenes. Who cares? The only one I'll acknowledge is the one where you're offered the cover spot for Sony's NBA basketball series.
Oh, big stuff, kid, big stuff.
Talent.
All right, so I got a call from Sony
Yesterday, and they tell me that they want you on the cover of their new basketball game.
Stop playing. I'm on that freaking game 24/7.
Insert Obama medal meme here. But this does offer a change of scenery because you're in a new area with a mocap suit on, so there's that.
This is officially where the magic happens. This is the mocap studio. These knuckleheads over here can take through the whole process. We're gonna take all the stuff that you do every night. We're gonna do it right here. We're gonna motion capture it. We're gonna put it in the computer. We're gonna process it, and we're gonna put it in the game.
Okay,
so
mocap, that's what motion capture.
Motion capture.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so when those kids play it at home, there's millions of kids playing at home, they'll be using your motion to play the game.
So you play on, and this game is starting to push the narrative that the fame is turning you into a selfish player. You eventually arrive late to practice.
Sorry, Coach. Hey, what's going on with you, son?
I got held up, lost track of time.
Well, I hope you enjoyed yourself. Front office is going to be calling you about your fine.
Are you kidding me?
You are not above the rules of this team, son.
Then you have this whole narrative that builds between you and your teammate Bland that you don't pass the ball.
Finally. Hey, little help. Hey, yo, man, little help. Oh, come on. Near the chump is too good for that.
Say it again. Hey, that's what I thought. All out of words, huh? You get a game first, then you come talk to me.
Oh. Step up, JUCO star. Did you take a lesson from Big Dub or something?
Keep talking.
Well, keep talking. Come on. What, did Chuck help you with that one too? Because I know
was
we
that?
gotta.
What was
Did
that?
Chuck help you with that one too?
Okay, you keep talking. Don't hide behind
What
him.
do you mean?
Don't hide behind him.
I'm not hiding behind
you got
anybody.
the guts to speak
My
those
game
words out
speaks
your
for
mouth.
itself.
You watch my fist
Guts,
going right back
Guts,
at your
why don't you
throat.
learn to pass the ball? You want to pass?
Enough!
Fast forward to the All-Star break and we play ball at that court from earlier when Big W shows up and challenges us to a game. We beat him easily, but that didn't happen, I guess, because our coach comes in.
Game over! Game over! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You know better than that, William.
I don't respond to you anymore, Bill. You set that up, remember?
You too, kid. What are you doing? You're risking injury, not to mention violating your contract. And for what? A little pride.
I guess every notable NBA person hangs out at this court. We have the All-Star break and we participate in the rookies sophomore game where Big W beats us off screen in the second half of the game.
Pause.
Boy, that doesn't sound right, actually. I just noticed that. We go through All-Star activities like 3-point contests and a skills challenge.
That's hot. The boom, 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 boom. Ooh, boom, 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 splash. Boom, 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 swish. Boom, 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 boom. Welcome to the PlayStation Skills Challenge. I'm Miles Thirst, resident MC and king of the court. The ball's yours, kid. Let's see what you got.
This dude is a core memory my brain left for dead.
Our problems with Bland spill out over into the media now.
This is a two-part question. First, can you comment on Shane Blanton's statement about the absence of the team's passing game? And second, do you think that statement was directed towards you?
To the first. Yes, our passing game could be better. And the second, I wouldn't read much into it. Maybe he's just frustrated about his poor execution.
Despite the lack of teamwork, the kid was able to put up some impressive numbers. Can you comment?
You're asking the wrong guy, you know? You don't need a team to show off. Winning's a different story.
Well, while that's going on, here's this.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you what's going on. I've been playing your game, man. I can't get enough of it.
No doubt. I broke my third controller last night. The dang story mode got me worse.
Man, you too? Man, I'm on my second.
God, could they jerk themselves off anymore? So the coach tells us to stop it, and we do. We just make up and that's it. Everything's great now. Now our goal is to get into the playoffs. Of course, the best way to do that is to go to fucking Japan to eat.
ようこそいらっしゃいませ。お元気ですか？
才のことで玉がいっぱいだけど、まあ元気かな。世の魚はどうだ？ご両とど？
はい。 とてもいい魚が入ってます。味も最高なので、皆様に喜んでいただけると思い用意いたしました。
おー、本当にうまそう。お様の金馬だよ。ありがとう。
それではどうぞごゆっくり。
Well, you might be a cunning linguist, but I'm a master debater.
In the final game of the season, we head into double overtime and win in the end to get into the playoffs. Now, the playoffs are just a whole different animal. Like, look at the objectives I have to complete. Jesus! The whole team needs to get involved, so there really isn't anything crazy here. We win a playoff series versus the 76ers, then win against the Detroit Pistons, who certain players may or may not have allegedly bet games on. Bland gets hurt during Game 7 of this series, then we play in the finals versus San Antonio, which is Big W's team. They start us out on an 0-3 deficit to come back from, with each game having more and more objectives to complete. I thought Bland at one point was gonna rip his suit off and have a jersey underneath like he's Patrick or some shit.
So in the middle of the NBA Finals, there's this weird moment where a bunch of guys come out of a helicopter. They look like military people or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, what is this? The advertisement for the new SOCOM or whatever, some army game, something. But then the screen fades to black and it says NBA 06 The Life Volume 1 in stores now. So what you're saying is they're advertising NBA 06 while I play NBA 06? What, did they want people to buy a second copy? I don't understand that.
The final game ends fittingly with a teleporting buzzer beater.
Man, your coach can only take so much of this.
And that's it. We have the trophy and the game ends. It's kind of ironic that the whole game is about emphasizing teamwork, but in the end, just myself walks around with a championship trophy like I did all the work. But that's NBA 06 The Life Volume 1. Maybe we'll do Volume 2 someday, but this wasn't very good. Props to them for doing some things that were original for the time, but the story barely has any conflict. You have to play hours of mediocre basketball gameplay just to get a cutscene, and that cutscene is some meaningless bullshit like Nolan North calling you to tell you about some sneaker deal.
You did it, kid. You got your own shoe.
You want to know what I think about that?